AS17 segment reporting. This standard is mandatory for non-SMCs and level 1 entities. Basically, this standard would apply to an enterprise which either has number of business segments or which operates in different geographical locations. The basic objective of this standard is to provide reporting framework for different type of products and services in which the enterprise deals in, or different geographical locations in which the enterprise operate. Basically, I'll give you an example. Let's say there is a company known as X Limited, which is into textile business, IT related business, cement business and electronics business. So when you have a look at the statement of PL and balance sheet of this company, you will get to know what is the revenue from operations on a consolidated basis, taken all the business together. The profit will also be reflected from the statement of profit and loss on a consolidated basis of all these businesses. Similarly, if you look at the balance sheet, you will get to know the financial position of all the business taken together. So this standard emphasizes that the user of the financial statement would also like to know that what is the revenue, what is the profitability and what is the allocation of assets and liabilities among various business segments in which the enterprise operates. So for example, we have taken X Limited, which is textile, IT, cement and electronic business. So the PL will present the total revenue, total profit, the balance sheet will give the total assets, but by way of a note to the financial statement, as per accounting standard 17, the enterprise will have to present information segment wise, means what is the contribution, what is the total revenue, profitability, etc. of textile, IT, cement, electronics. Similarly, we may have a scenario where, let's say there's a company known as Y Limited, which is into telecom business. This company operates in India, UAE, Russia, America. So the user of the financial statement, when it looks at the financial statement, will get the total revenue from all these locations, total profitability of the company, total assets and liabilities of the company. However, this standard would require Y Limited to present geographical information as well, as in that how much is revenue is contributed from India, how much of revenue from Russia, how much from UAE, how much from America, what is the profitability of the operations in India, UAE, etc. and what are the composition of assets and liabilities which are based in each of the geographical locations. So this standard basically provides additional information to the users of the financial statement, and it speaks about the major business segments or geographical segments of the business. So here the standard says that the segment could either be a business segment or it could be a geographical segment. What is a business segment? It's a distinguishable component of an enterprise which deals in products and services which are subject to risks and returns which are different from other business segments. So for example, textile will have a risk and return different from IT services. IT services will have a risk and return different from cement. Cement will have risk and return different from electronic. So all these line of businesses in which the company X Limited is operating will have different risk and returns. So each of these segments will be known as business segment. Similarly, if we took an example for Y Limited, which deals in telecom services, it operates in India, UAE, Russia and America. Each of these locations will have different geographical, political, economic conditions in these areas. So the risk and return in India would be different from that of UAE, from Russia and America and so on and so forth. So it says that the business segment has to be classified into either business segments or geographical sector. It can be both. For example, X Limited, which is textile, IT, cement, electronics as business segments, may be operating in India, may be operating in Singapore, UAE, Africa, America as well. So this entity would have business segments as well as geographical segments as well. Geographical segment has been defined as a distinguishable component of an enterprise which is engaged in providing products and services in a particular economic environment, the risk and return of which are different from other geographical environments. So these are treated as business segment and geographical segment. Geographical segment can further be subclassified into geographical segment which is based on location of operation, and geographical segment which is based on location of customer. When we say location of operations, means where the assets of the enterprise are located. For example, we have manufacturing factory in India and China, but we are selling in UAE, we are selling in America, we are selling in Africa. So here our location of asset is different, our location of customer is different. So geographical segment may be subclassified into location of operations and location of customer, where the customers are based. Then we'll talk about reportable segment. Reportable segment means maybe that an enterprise has 15 different business segments, but do we provide information for all these 15 segments? Answer is no. Only if that segment qualifies as a reportable segment, then only a separate disclosure of that particular segment will be made. So a reportable segment is a segment for which segment information has to be disclosed in the financial statement. This could be about a business segment, this could be about a geographical segment. So how do you identify a segment? The first step is that the business or the reporting enterprise will have to identify the segment. It says that identification would have already been made. The identification would depend upon the organizational structure of the reporting enterprise or the internal reporting system of the enterprise. For example, let's say we took an illustration of X Limited, which is into textile, IT, cement and electronic items. So maybe this enterprise will have different heads of business. Maybe head of business of textile is different, head of business of IT is different, of cement is different, of electronics is different. There will be different teams which will be working on it. So the organizational structure will give us an idea about the segment. Another example could be, let's say, internal reporting system. So when you are providing the management information system to your board of directors, definitely the board of directors would like to track the profitability and performance of each business individually, or maybe they will like to track the performance and profitability of each geographical area separately. So you will have to have a look at your internal reporting, financial reporting system or the organizational structure to identify a particular segment. Then we'll talk about which then the reportable segment are classified into two categories. There will be a primary reporting segment and a secondary reporting format. Primary reporting format will require a certain set of information and the secondary will require a certain set of information. So how do we identify whether a business segment is primary or a geographical segment is primary? The standard says that the risk and returns are affected predominantly by the difference in products and services in which the enterprise is dealing in, then in that case the primary segment will be the business segment and the secondary segment will be the geographical segment. But if the risk and returns are affected predominantly by the area in which the enterprise is operating, in that case the primary segment will be the geographical segment and the secondary segment will be the business segment. If it is felt that both business segment as well as the geographical thing impacts the risk and return in an equal manner or strongly impacted by both, in that case this standard says that then in that case business segment will become the primary segment and the geographical segment will become the secondary segment. This statement says if the company does not have an organization structure, or maybe the internal financial reporting system is neither based on the product or services or nor it is based on the geographical let's say classification of operations, in that case the enterprise is supposed to determine the primary source of risk and return and then choose a business segment or a geographical segment as primary and the other as the secondary. Now we start on with the most important part of the standard. As we have already said that a business may have 10 segments, but do we have to present individual information for all these segments? Answer is no. We need to only present information in relation to reportable segments. So how do we identify reportable segment? There's a 10% criteria, 3 points, very important points which you need to remember. A business segment or a geographical segment would be identified as reportable if, first point, its revenue from sale to the external customers as well as transaction with other segment is 10% or more of the total revenue, external as well as internal, of the all segments. So you need to total up the internal and external revenue of the enterprise, and then 10%, those segments which has 10% or more revenue, right, qualify as a reportable segment. Its segment results, whether in profit or in loss, is 10% or more of the combined results of all segments in profit or combined results of all segment in losses, whichever is greater in absolute terms. So what you need to do, there might be certain segments which are profitable segment, there might be certain segments which are incurring losses. So you need to add profit of all the profitable segments, you need to add losses of all the loss making segments, and then compare these two figures in absolute terms. Whichever figure is higher you will apply 10% on it, and then you will get a number. All those segments which is either profit or loss equal to or greater than this number will be treated as reportable segment. Then the third criteria is that its assets are 10% or more of the total assets of all segment. So once either of these criteria is met, that the segment will be treated as reportable segment, and the segment information needs to be provided. This standard also gives discretion to the management. If let's say a particular segment does not qualify either of these 10% criteria, but if still the management wants to disclose information in relation to that particular segment, management can do it at its own discretion. Then it also says that in case, let's say the reporting, you're making reporting of your revenue by way of segment disclosure, by way of reportable segment, at least 75% of the total enterprise revenue should be disclosed segment wise. But maybe there are reportable segments, when you add up the total revenue of these reportable segments, they constitute only 60% of the enterprise revenue. In that case, you need to identify more segments, even if they are not reportable within the 10% criteria, but still you need to identify more reportable segments to ensure that the presentation of revenue of the enterprise in terms of reportable segments is at least 75% of the total revenue of the enterprise. It further says that if a segment was identified as reportable in the immediately previous year, but it does not qualify as 10% criteria in the current year, still it will be a reportable segment because it was a reportable segment in the immediately preceding previous year. It further says that if a segment is identified as reportable in the current year, right, the corresponding previous year number relating to that segment has to be presented whether or not that segment was reportable segment in the previous year. Then we'll talk about the reporting format. There's a primary reporting format and there is secondary reporting format. So in the primary reporting format, certain information needs to be disclosed. You need to disclose segment revenue, right, which is from external sale, whereas as well as inter-segment sale. Segment results needs to be disclosed. You need to disclose the total assets of all segment, total liabilities of the all segment, the capital expenditure incurred by the segment, the amount of depreciation and amortization charge of the segment, and you need to disclose the significant non-cash expenditure other than depreciation. And then you need to do a reconciliation of segment revenue to the total revenue of the enterprise, segment result to the total profit and loss as per the PL, the segment asset to the total asset of the enterprise as per the balance sheet, and segment liabilities to the enterprise liabilities. Now we'll talk about the secondary information. See, you identified primary, either a business or a geographical, right, either a business segment or a geographical segment. So in the secondary format, right, the one which was identified as primary, let's say for example, if you identified business segment as primary, you need to give information about geographical segment as secondary. So if primary segment format is business segment, then you need to provide information about segment revenue from external customer by location of customer for each geographical segment whose revenue from sale to external customer is 10% or more of the total enterprise revenue, total carrying amount of segment assets by the geographical location of the asset for those segments whose segment assets are 10% or more of the total assets of all geographical segments. You need to provide information about capital expenditure by location of asset for each geographical segment whose segment asset are 10% or more of the total assets of geographical location. So we consider a scenario where primary was business, we are providing information of secondary as geographical. Now in the next case, if primary segment is a geographical segment, following information needs to be provided for all business segments. So primary we identified as geographical, the secondary will be business. What you need to provide? You need to provide segment revenue from external customer, total carrying amount of segment asset, and capital expenditure to acquire the segment asset, means you need to disclose the capital expenditure incurred. For which segments you will incur? For all those segments whose revenue from sale to external customer is 10% or more of the enterprise revenue, or whose assets are 10% or more of the total assets of all business segment. Then there is certain additional information requirement as well. If your geographical segment was primary reportable format, it could have been either been based on location of asset or it could have been based on location of customer. So if primary is geographical segment on the basis of location of asset, And if the location of asset are different from the location of customer, then in that case you need to disclose revenue from sale to external customer based on location of customer for all those customer based segments whose revenue from sale to external customer is 10% or more of the enterprise revenue. If your geographical segment was the primary reportable format based on location of customer, but if the location of customer is different from location of asset, then for each geographical asset based segment you need to disclose the total carrying amount of the segment asset and the capital expenditure incurred based on the location of asset for those segments whose revenue from external sale to the customer is 10% or more, or whose assets are 10% or more of the enterprise assets. Then certain other disclosures need to be made, right? You need to give the inter-segment transfer policy. When one segment is transferring or making cross-charge to other segment, you need to say how the pricing of inter-segment transfers have been made. You need to state if there is any change in segment accounting policy. You need to give the information about your line of business, means type of product and services in the business is dealing, and the composition of the segment, means the geographical location in which the segments are operating. Then certain important definitions, we'll understand what is segment revenue. Segment revenue means revenue which is directly attributable to the segment, revenue which is allocated to the segment, and inter-segment revenue, it excludes extraordinary item, interest and dividend, right? But if the segment is of financial nature, then interest and dividend will be included. Gain on sale of investment and extinguishment of debt will be excluded from segment revenue. Segment expense would similarly constitute directly attributable operating expense of the segment. Expenses allocated to the segment and inter-segment expenses. It also includes extraordinary item, interest expense, but it will be included if the segment is of a financing nature. Loss on sale of investment or extinguishment of that. Income tax expense will not be included, and general administrative expenses which cannot be allocated to a particular segment should be excluded. Segment result is segment revenue minus segment expense. Segment assets are the operating assets employed by the segment in its operating activities. It excludes income tax assets and assets used for general or head office purpose. Segment liabilities are liabilities resulting from the operating activities of the segment. It also excludes income tax liabilities and borrowing and other liabilities which are of financing nature. By this we are done with AS 7.